Hi, I'm Jules Kuehn, and I'm presenting a paper that I co-authored with David Mould called Algorithmic Typewriter Art: Can a Thousand Words Paint a Picture? Basically, our process takes in a scanned typewriter character set and a target image to be reproduced in type. It outputs 4 individual layers. When you type them in an overlapping fashion, they combine to resemble the target image. The layers overlap, but they're slightly offset. If we consider the first layer to be placed at the origin, the second layer is offset horizontally by half a character, the third vertically by half a character, and the fourth layer is offset in both dimensions. Compared with ASCII art, typewriter art offers additional degrees of freedom. You can move the paper to type characters in off-grid positions, you can type characters on top of each other, and you can vary the strike force to get different shades. But this also makes it pretty difficult to reproduce. In our method, the 4 offset layers offer a lot of the benefits of freehand typewriter art, but they can be typed without artistic skill. At a high level, we take those 2 inputs, and then we do some pre-processing, and then iterative optimization. As outputs, we get the 4 typable layers plus the simulated typed result. Looking at the optimization in more detail, the algorithm iterates over every position that a character could be placed in any of the 4 layers. At each position, we're looking for a character that, if it were placed in that position, would reduce loss compared to the current state. For the loss function, we're using an asymmetric variation on mean squared error that penalizes too much ink more than too little ink. In action, the process looks like this. Starting from a random initial state, the algorithm visits character positions in a random order. Over time, the character selections become more and more optimal. It's often beneficial to type multiple characters at the same position. To allow this, we just run the program again, using the simulated typed result from the previous run as the background for compositing operations on this run. So, picking up where we left off, the process repeats and we get a bit more tonal range, especially a blacker black. But when we distribute the ink across multiple layers, the detail also improves. On the left, we're trying to do it all with just 1 character per position. In order to get a good overall tonal match, it has to select some characters that don't match the shapes as closely. In the middle panel, we can distribute the ink across 2 characters per position. On the right, we have up to 3, and this improves things a bit, but we get diminishing returns after 2. Before optimization, we do some pre-processing to align the image with the underlying character grid. Because even with our 4 offset layers, we're still on a fixed character grid, just a higher resolution one. So we quickly try out 64 different crops of the target image, where we just do 1 selection per character position. From those crops, we look for the highest combined peak signal-to-noise ratio and structural similarity, and then we'll use those crop parameters. On the left, we have the worst cropping result, and on the right, the best result. The improvement from the cropping is even more dramatic once the optimization is complete. Since these things take a really long time to type, we did most of our evaluation on the simulated results. To find out if 1,000 words can indeed paint a picture, we can limit ourselves to some number of characters. For these results, we use 2 characters per position and 2 levels of strike force. We tried out a variety of test images without any manual optimization of hyperparameters. Regardless of the image content, the algorithm was pretty good at reproducing the target image. When I was creating this presentation, PowerPoint correctly was suggesting alt text for the typed images, so that's something. If we abandon the arbitrary character limit, the results are even better. If this image were typed, it would be around 6 inches wide, and it has 3 characters per position. So what's the result when you physically type it? This image is composed of around 6,400 characters, and it took maybe 6 hours to type. Compared with the simulated result, the physical result is less optimal, but it's still pretty enjoyable. One discrepancy is caused by the multiplicative compositing in the algorithm. You just can't reach those full blacks with the typewriter. But most of the issues are simply due to human error, such as accidentally typing too hard, or slightly rotating the page when you move it to get the horizontal stagger. In the future, the physical steps could certainly be improved on. But for small images with less overlapping characters, it already works pretty well. In summary, we presented an algorithm for generating paint-by-numbers style typewriter art where 4 typable layers combine to resemble a target image. And we found that when you only have 1,000 words, every character counts.